Welcome. You're live with Tim Black. We're now on the air. Hey, everybody. It's the Tim Black at Night show. I'm glad you can make it. Everybody, I hope you got my link to go to the Google Hangout location. And I guess if you're watching this, you did get the link, because if not, you're not seeing me. Hey, Mom, how you doing? She's not seeing me. But anyway, let's get some music going, because, you know, to start the show off right, I got to be in the right mood. So we got to rock this. Now, this better play. There it is. Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. Got that ugly face right there. True. For some reason, it's not really funky till your face is ugly. Gotta be ugly with it. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. You know? Hey everybody, welcome. Now we have officially started. My name is Tim Black. I'm the host of this show, and I appreciate you all for tuning in and coming away from your TVs for a little while, watching Donald Trump fall downstairs with spikes in him long enough to check out something a little bit different, something a little bit more relevant, especially to our progressive people. It's been a lot, man. I had a lot going on in there. I did a lot of shows on the Coffee Time show. You know, I talked about the Boko Haram little girls that were rescued or actually released. They weren't rescued. They were negotiated. Talked about that. There was a cop shooting in Boston. So, yes, there are other things going on besides Trump and his fondling memories or whatever. Or, you know, and the WikiLeaks that no one's talking about but us progressive in the far right, because we're all Russians. But what I have for you tonight is going to be great, because I have been fortunate enough to get my friend Steven Grumbine to come back on the show. Now, some of you know Steven Grumbine from Real Progressives, and if you don't know him, guys, let me introduce you to my friend. He is powerhouse. Look, he knows so much about finance, but tonight we're going to talk about some other issues, because I think we really need it for the movement. And without further ado, guys, give it up for my friend Steven Grumbine. What up, Steven?
Hello. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing a lot better now, man. Now I got my friend Steven here on the other end of this thing, man. It kind of balanced me out, man. Like an end table, you got to have both sides secure, man. How are you doing, brother?
I am doing well. I'm tired, but I am well, very well.
There it is, man. Yeah, man. I know my bags are kind of showing, man. It's been rough over here too, brother. You know, keeping up with this news, man. Look, Steven, the WikiLeaks are kicking my butt. Like, I was complaining that day when I stayed up till like 3 or 4 in the morning, waiting on WikiLeaks, and nothing really happened. He was like, send money, and I was pissed. But now I'm like, hey, slow down, man, because I can't cover all this, man. It's like I'm only one guy, so I don't know, man. Have you caught any of that stuff at all? You know?
Well, for me, this is all validation. It's not like a big deja vu or a big aha moment, no epiphanies for me. It just validates everything we've been saying all along. And I think that the tough part for me, like you, I'm the focal point of Real Progressives. I mean, we have a lot of people, but a lot of people just assume. We've got a lot of people like Jackie Lukman, who you've had on your show many times. And we have a whole host. I mean, we got 24 plus people on the team. Many of the faces and names that you're used to seeing, like Claudia, Garland. We have Ed and Chelsea now. You have a host of people, man. Just lots. Gary Frazier Jr.'s joined us from Camden, New Jersey. So we got so many names and voices and faces that if we can start actually taking that and migrating away from being show ponies and get out there and doing the dirty work and start making some revolution happen. Wow. I think we're going to start seeing some change, brother.
Wow, man. Look, that's what we hope to accomplish, brother. Yeah, that's what we're looking for, man. So much to talk about, man. So many places to go. But I titled this video, the show title, Jill Stein, can she make it to 5%? Because I think that's a question that a lot of people have and hell, man, we need to address it. Steven, can she make it? Will she make it? What do you think?
Well, let me start off first by there's an entire movement afoot right now that is talking about this Deny 270. And Deny 270, in my opinion, and I'm not going to sit there and ascribe it to any one person, but I can tell you it smells and looks an awful lot like Control the Record to me, because what that does the way they're operating this, if they were sitting there really, truly trying to look down the road like 5 minutes past their nose, it would be all about Jill Stein. There would be no deny 270 with write-ins for Bernie, who's no longer an active candidate. And there would be no other deviations. It would be straightforward, getting the last progressive standing up to at least 5%. And if we all understood what was at stake, we all would absolutely vote for Jill Stein. And so in my mind, it's an abdication of everything revolutionary. It's completely devoid of value to do anything other than support Jill Stein at this point. Can she do it? I believe she can. Will she do it? Let's find out. We got some time. We got to work it. We got to work it.
I feel you, man. You know, look, I mean, I'm not shy, man. The op denied 270 people. I'd heard a little bit of chatter about these guys, more than a little. People were talking about it on Twitter, right? So I sent out a tweet and I said, hey, hey, look, I got a platform. I wanted to, because I really didn't know what it was about. I was like, you know what? Maybe I can bring you guys on. Let's talk about it. And man, the moment after I said that, Steven, I got bombarded with too many people for this shit to be real, brother. Like,
that's right.
I was swarmed, man. People called my phone. I've got my Google voicemail. People were emailing me. People were texting me. People were filling up my Facebook, filling up my DMs. I'm like, hold on a second. Hold on. This has never happened. Like, this is not regular stuff. It's almost as if these people are getting paid to do this.
Boom! That's
what
right.
I'm saying? It was too much, Steven. It was too much. Now, you're the first person to kind of say what I was thinking. And still, I have no way to verify it. Steven's not saying he knows for sure. Let's correct the record. I heard Claudia had some concerns as well. I didn't even know Claudia was with you guys, man.
Yeah, Claudia.
Big shout out, man. Big shout out to Claudia. I just I just know people I like and people I groove with, and share some commonality and some passion for what we're doing. And Claudia is one of them. But I never looked at you guys as a group. But that's great, man. That makes me even feel better about teaming up with you guys and doing some stuff.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. To answer your question, to answer my question, Jill Stein, 5%. You damn right she could do it. Now the question to me is, will the system allow it? Okay, and that's really the problem, right? Because we know these polls that have a lot of people disenchanted, Steven. They're not really you can't say you'll vote for a person if you don't even know the person's available.
Well, have you ever looked at the polls that they do? Have you ever actually seen these things? Man,
some of them. But go ahead.
I am active. Some days I start at 2:30 in the morning and I go straight through till 2:30 in the morning again. Like, I just go round the clock and I'm like, oh my God, how do I keep doing this? I got small children. I got a real career. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going. How do you do it? And the reality is that what you've done, I put myself out there very far. I mean, I don't mince words. If somebody screws up, they're on the chopping block, I put it out there. So you would think that I would be in somebody's radar for being polled or anything like that. So I get these polls, and whenever I get polled, it gives me two choices, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. I don't see Jill. God forbid, I don't see Gary Johnson. I don't see anyone. I don't even see Snoopy. I just see those two clowns, right?
Right.
So I know for a fact that if they were actually looking to find out if they had 5%, they would be on that thing. They're not actually trying to find it out. They're trying to squash it through another form of gaslighting. And we've been here before. We know what this is about. This is the same shit they did to us during the Bernie Sanders campaign. Exact same. And what's worse, and folks, let me tell you, I'm talking to you. If you're one of those people that has fallen from Bernie over to Hillary, and you're sitting there gaslighting people like myself who support Jill Stein, how do you put your head on the pillow at night? How do you sleep? Not well, can't be well. That's for sure, because you're killing the movement. You're killing the movement. Shame on you.
That's right. And you know what? Under this guise of, Trump's worse than Hillary. You know what? That's not enough for it. Okay, that's not enough of a excuse for you to now support a warmonger. Okay, so here's the thing, man. And all decisions you have to be made based on your ethics. Okay, so my ethics tell me I have to be in line with that, with what I preach. It's not for me to decide, oh, well, is this person worse? Is this person a little bit better? What about this? No, I don't do that. Okay, if there was no Jill Stein running in this race, maybe I could consider what you're suggesting. But at this point, At this point, we have options, and I say, let's support the option that we are naturally attracted to based on policy. Now, I believe, Stephen, maybe some of these people never really were Bernie supporters. They were just, I don't know, they were just on it for the ride. Because if you go from Bernie Sanders to Hillary Clinton, who was almost the polar opposite in a lot of ways, and now we know that for a fact. Now it's even more evident looking at the WikiLeaks. I think you were never really a progressive, or even I don't even know, man, these titles. But you know what I'm saying. I don't think they really stood for the things we thought they stood for.
Well, let me break down. I've got like a list of things, and not long, but it is very important to lay this out. So first things first, we have a dishonest media. What we're doing right now takes effort. Okay, the people watching us right now, it takes effort. You can't just turn on your TV and just lay back and go, huh? You got to actually go to a website. You got to click a link. You got to do different things. You know what I mean? This is not easy listening radio. They got to do something to see this. So that's part of the problem. The other part of the problem is that when you get past the basics, what they're saying to themselves is, I've always voted Democrat. I hate Republicans. Naturally, Hillary is better by proxy. But the reality is that when you look at this, you and I know where you're from or where you live, so I know the area. And when I think about it, there's a lot of people that like to puff up, make a big stink, but they're good guys when you get them alone. Maybe they're not good guys, but they're not doing a whole lot of damage. But then you got that one guy that really has done damage, and you're like, oh no, I'm not going around him no matter what, right? So you got Donald Trump, who's done some really shitty things, really bad things. You don't want to be around him. You don't want kids around him, whatever, that's fine. But when it comes down to it, I've never seen Donald Trump lead a coup in Honduras. I've never seen him have blood on his hands for Berta Caceres. I have never seen him do anything with Libya in terms of we came, we saw, he died. I've never seen him in any way, shape, or form push for a no-fly zone in terms of actually being a Secretary of State and causing death and destruction. Mm-hmm. So this is in no way, shape, or form a defense of Donald Trump. But here's the thing. If I've got to go into battle, if I've got to fight someone, and that person that I'm going to fight with, is completely and utterly going to divide my posse in half, so I only have half a posse to go to war with, I'm going to pick the guy that's going to bring my whole posse to bear. And the only person that we get all people, including the vote blue sycophants, to fight against is Donald Trump. So if I had to pick which was the lesser evil is by far and away the one that unites the left. And the only one that unites the left, unfortunately, other than Jill Stein, is Donald Trump. He unites us in opposition because no matter what, the next 4 years, we're fighting constantly. So who are we going to fight with the most soldiers? The most soldiers are going to come to battle against Donald Trump. They will not go to battle against Hillary because those same vote blue sycophants will sit there and worthlessly defend her every move. Oh, well, we had to go to war. Why do we have to go to war? Well, the world's complicated. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. Okay, and all of a sudden they're spinning a yarn. So that's the most important thing to remember. Anybody that tells you, what do you want, Donald Trump? You know what? You're already proving to me by saying that you're going to be the guy that for the next 4 years will create meme after meme after meme about how bad Donald Trump is, so we won't have to worry about him getting anything accomplished. But if Hillary gets in there, you'll be going, Madam President. Mm-hmm. And that's something we can't live with.
What can I do for you, Madam President? Is there any way that I can shine your shoes? And don't listen to these people up here telling you this garbage about how, well, if she gets in the office, I'll be fighting her every step of the way. Yes, we know exactly who I'm talking about now. We'll fight her every step of the way on policy. You know what? No, you won't. No, you won't, because you're carrying water. And even if you did, it would be hollow, because now is the time you fight her. You fight her now. You fight her the duration, not just if she gets elected. So that whole idea, I think I call it the pragmatist fake pajamas. That's what they're wearing, and it's, I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them, Stephen. And I think I know for a fact, looking at the WikiLeaks, that some people have a vested interest due to the the corporation ties, to the money, to the campaign of Hillary Clinton. Guys, you got to look at Univision. Look at Univision. You know what I'm talking about. It's in
Jorge
WikiLeaks, the
Ramos.
latest edition. There you go. And some people are making money, so I'm really tired. And look, it's not about me turning people against other people. Like you, Stephen, I'm concerned about us going in the right direction. That's all. And if you're leading my people the wrong way under the rules of, well, this is the safer route, well, I got to call you out on that if I disagree with you. That's just me ethically what I have to do. Now, I'll go to bat for you when you're right, and I'll call you out when you're wrong. And that's the way it should be. And I think we got to keep each other in line. What do you think about that, Stephen?
I think that's a great point. I think that, have you ever seen people that do the right thing for the wrong reason? They accidentally stumble into a right decision.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I do.
That's the problem here, right? If I sit there and I tell you, hey, defend, like, perfect example. Have you noticed how Bernie Sanders is now suddenly talking about a living wage and is no longer talking about the fight for 15? I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but he's suddenly stumbling backwards because the harpy that he's actually stumping for right now is not on board for Fight for 15. She got up there with de Blasio and all the rest of them out there in New York and acted like she was part of that. But the reality is Hillary is anything but for that. Hillary is far from that. So when I think about her doing the right thing, it's an opportunistic thing. I'm not going to stroke her for accidentally doing the right thing. There's no brownie points for being a neocon, neoliberal war hawk that sits there and accidentally does something just to keep herself out of hot water. Because the problem is that when you get incrementalism, think about what MLK said. MLK complained about the white moderate, right?
Yep.
And so when you
Birmingham.
think about the white moderate, the
Yep.
white moderate has become the black moderate too, because let's be fair, people have elevated. There are people that are now in that next stratosphere that are feeling just good enough that they can forget about everybody. So when
Maxine
Hillary does
Waters,
this,
John Lewis,
boom,
Randall, all these the Congressional Black Caucus are a shameful bunch. They're horrible,
amen.
horrific, and they
That's
need to
right.
be called out more often. And I have nothing pleasant to say about them at all, and they know that.
That's right. And I think this brings us to a point you and I were talking about offline, and that is that we've got a lot of show ponies. We've got a lot of people that are looking for the stars in this movement. They're all too happy to network and glad hand and social climb and be a part of the inner circle, double guns, But the reality is that when you ask them questions, when you look for the substance, it's missing. The reason for that is that they're not there for the right reasons. That's why when Hillary does something right, if she does something right, that you got to be leery of the reasons why it happened. Because she doesn't do things right because she's not one of us. She's co-opting, she's doing political blackface. So anytime she does something right, it's done from a position that we don't understand because we're not like her and she's not like us. So I think it's really important that we look at ourselves, look at our own activists, look at the movements we're leading, look at the initiatives we're pushing forth, and look at the people trying to take the lead on them and ask ourselves, it's not critiquing. Hey, everybody's got a right to be who they are. But what they don't have the right to do is sit there and social climb on people who are really struggling, who really need a leader. We don't need heroes. We need revolutionaries. And we need a movement. And so when people are social climbing and the plastic of revolution, when we have people that are faux aggressives, we've got to make sure that we call them out. We've got to make sure that we know.
Right.
We call a spade. Because, honest to goodness, I've seen more people that are more willing to be a superstar on their own accord and are not willing to really unite with people, are not really ready to lead things, or even, God forbid, play second fiddle for 5 minutes.
But Stephen, when you say be a star, like in what way? Like by how would they be stars? Like what line? I'm lost. Like I don't get it. Where does this opportunity lie in doing what? And how does this, connect with the progressives? What we're doing here?
I think what you see a lot of is a lot of people that are actually out there trying to make a name for themselves, trying to seek personal attention as opposed to the movement, right? So
Okay.
the movement requires dirty work as much as it requires star work.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we need
Yeah.
people with a good voice. We need people with a good message. You know, I don't like doing this stuff per se in the sense of for my own self, but I watch people and it's like, hey, we could do something really great if we did it together. What if we did it together? And instead, behind the scenes, they want to shuck and jive and do their own thing and go off here, go off there. And what you see is a lot of people darting here and there, trying to find their own instead of working for the
I
movement.
saw that in Philly.
That's right. And
I
that's
saw
what
it
we
in
are facing.
Philly, Stephen. Now that I did see, but look. This is just a very candid conversation. I've talked to Stephen before. I feel real comfortable with him. I feel real comfortable with my audience. I just tell you guys, look. Part of the reason why I don't do more is because I'm not just an activist. And I'll be upfront with anyone, and I'll tell you, look, I'm doing my dream right now, and that was to hold the show. It took me almost, I keep saying 3 years, more like 4 years. Check the channel. And it took me a long time to build up an audience. And I stumbled into this, like Steven, like most people, right? But I know there's limits that I can't go. Like, I can't go across the country. I know I can't leave this thing or I won't have a place to live. Like, and people were like pushing me. I brought a guy on my show, Steven, and I don't know if he thinks I'm a fake progressive because I wouldn't drop everything and go across the country with him. Dude, I
That's
can't
not
do
your
that.
call.
Like, that's
Your
not,
call.
first of all, and I'm not going to lie and say that's my role. That's what I'm doing. I'm not in a position to do that, nor do I want to do that. And I feel like the fact that I brought on 10, 15, 20 different progressives on my channel, giving them a platform. Some
Boom.
people, that I felt that that's enough. Like, but it was like, give me more. We need more, Tim Black. Come to New York and come to this place and do this and do that. And I tell you, Stephen, one of my biggest gripes is that some people think being a revolutionary or being an activist is getting other people to do shit for you. No, being an activist or being a revolutionary is you doing it, and then you telling me what you're doing and say, hey, you want to be a part of this. Now, hey, Tim, I get a million messages a day of people telling me stuff to do for them, for the movement. I'm like, what are you doing? Asking you to do it? What the hell? So
Right.
it's two sides of the coin, and being a person who has a platform, I get it on both sides. I get people want me to do stuff, and then I get people. So
But you
um,
you play within your game, Tim, and
I
you know
have
what you
to.
do.
I have
You
to,
are
Steve.
you're an honest man. Number one, and number two, you believe in this. This is you. Nobody's forcing. You believe, and it's apparent, right? You're not a show pony. You are really in the movement. And the thing that you've done is you got your ear to the ground. You know what's important, and you're bringing it to attention for everyone to hear. And that, my friend, is a huge service to this movement. Then that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking
Yeah,
about is there is a tendency for us to be special snowflakes as it is. That's why progressives have never ever been able to unite as a unit. They go off here, they go off there, they want to do this, they want to do that, and there's never a unified front. What this movement requires, point blank, is to put the movement first at all times. You're putting the movement first by being the man you are and bringing people to the stage to talk to people about what's important. That is a role that is incredibly important. That is a role that you're doing. You've taken, in a way, you've taken a step back and you've said, I'm a host. I'm going to bring people here to
exactly.
bring the message to you. I'm not trying to be the man. I'm bringing people here that can actually tell you what's going on. Tim, you are a hero in my book. That is and I don't mean it in a oh, you're a hero. I mean, you are doing heroic work. It's so important. You're here every day, 2 times, 3 times a day. And the prep it takes to do these things on top of the live streams in between, I know what it takes. You're one of my heroes, just so
I
you
appreciate
know.
it, Stephen. But,
The idea
I,
here is when you see people put self above the movement is where I'm at. And that's the concern I have. And that's what ends up splintering it. That's what makes it go all different directions. Instead of being able, like you ask about Jill Stein, this is where we started in this whole thing.
right.
The next progressive standing is Jill Stein.
There you
The
go.
next progressive up is Jill Stein.
Right.
But instead, we now have the Right in Bernie campaign. We got people going over here supporting Gary Johnson because he
Oh,
smokes weed. We got people sitting there saying, I'm going to support Trump because that'll block Hillary. And we got people going, well, I'm not going to vote anymore. And so what you say is, how in the world can we harness this massive movement so that we all understand what's important and we fight for that and we push forward. Because right now we got, what, 3 weeks to go before this election?
It's
If
not a
we
lot of
sit
time,
there and we
brother.
recognize that we as a movement
Mhm.
can set ourselves up for 2020, so we can set ourselves up to continue. What happens November 9th when the election's over and everybody goes back to sleep and they go back in hibernation? This is what I'm talking about. That's why it's so important that, number one, we don't need heroes. Bernie Sanders was the movement. When Bernie fell out, we have to stay with the movement. We can't be stuck with the man. Think about what happened to the civil rights movement after everybody checked out when MLK went down.
Wow.
I mean, you can't do
Yeah.
that. That's the point. And so when I see people trying to elevate themselves up in this thing, as opposed to elevating the movement and pushing the movement up further and uniting people and bringing them together to fight, not to
I
join.
want to, no, Steve. Look, man. Um, I, look, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm not going to ask you to name names. I'll say this: there are some people I met, right, who are fantastic, but they not like that. And what I mean, not like that. Um, what I don't, I'm still having a problem understanding how they're getting elevated. What, are they getting Facebook followers? What are they doing? Like I saw some people at a rally. They didn't necessarily rock the crowd. They weren't necessarily killing it. They're not Nina Turner. So like they still have their certain skill set. Or what are they doing? Pilfering money from people, getting donations, or what are they doing that I don't know how they can rise without having the skill set to do it. If you're a great writer, you're a great writer. If you're a great speaker, you're a great speaker. If you're an entertainer, you're an entertainer. But most of the people that are come to mind when I'm thinking about this, I don't see a really strong suit that they could actually, what are you going to do? Go be Jimmy Kimmel? I mean, what are you really going to do with this? You're not going to go run for office. I'm having a, I don't know, maybe I'm just not thinking clearly. Maybe there's something to be had out of jumping in front of a camera and then doing what? Like what exactly?
You
What are
never
they?
know. I think it's sometimes as an ego thing.
Okay,
And
okay,
what
okay.
I'm concerned with is, like, you know that you've got a movement, you know you've got an action, let's say, just an action. Instead of everybody saying, hey, let's pull together and work that action so we've got 10 million people doing it, as opposed to 50 here, 20 there, 30 there, 40 there. Hey, I've got my own little
Oh,
tribe of
now I
people.
get it. You mean the
The,
splintering of like groups, like the fact that we got all these different groups that people want to lead these groups instead of combining and saying, okay, I'm a
yes,
part of this. Now, okay, thank you for clearing that up, because now
yes,
that I see now, and
yes.
I've wondered why, but I don't know. Like I don't know why people do that.
It's a struggle because, quite frankly, we're about to do this march. You and I are, and several other people, many people, great, awesome people. Lee Camp, I think, will be there.
Yeah,
We've got yourself. We've got
Tim
Tim
Canova's gonna be
Canova.
there. I can't wait to meet Tim Canova, man. That's what I'm
I
really
know.
excited about. Yeah.
Yes. Jackie will be there. I mean, there's a host of people that are
Jackie,
going to be there.
shout out to
You know,
Jackie. Yeah.
and the thing is that, in my opinion, out of everything else, this Take Back Democracy March, the thing that I am there for, in my mind, is to remind people: stay woke, stay woke, don't go back to sleep. Too much is riding on us continuing to perpetuate this. Don't get wrapped up in personalities, get wrapped up in the issues.
Oh yeah.
Remember what it is we're fighting for.
You got.
Remember what it is we're fighting for,
I
because
think.
if
I
you
think.
don't,
Right. I think part of the key, Stephen, is that we got to keep. It's our job, right? Not your job. See, this is where my job comes in. My job, and I said this to a caller last week. I said my job is what we're going to do after the election. We got to somehow keep people who have progressive thoughts, beliefs, their core, like we got to keep them engaged. This platform will be able to do that. And that's one of the things I intend to keep doing, is making sure they have a place to go to where content will still be something of the nature of what they're interested in, that'll always have the ring of progressivism in it. And these issues can stay, we can have a way to reach people with these issues, because you're right, man, it's going to get cold, it's going to get hard, it's really been drying up. We were just talking about it, how the numbers of people on Facebook have really dried up as opposed to the way it was, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago.
yep, absolutely. We went from 30 million reach down to about 12 million a month.
Wow.
And I mean, most people wouldn't complain about 12 million, but when you've had
No.
30 million, you wonder what the heck happened, right?
That's great,
And
man. I've never had that
that
much
that
reach. You guys are killing it, man. Give it up. Give it up for these guys killing it over there, man. God, crazy. I take 12. I'm lucky to do 5, and I thought that was a good month. God, I
we
need to
we
shut
we
up.
were adding people at a clip of about 8 to 9,000 a week. And now we're about 2,000 a week, between 1,600, something like that. And it's just telling as you watch people. I mean, we've got a hardened group of people that are loyal to following us, and we have a cast of people, and we take your stuff and we put it up there. All the people that we care about and love about, we put up there to make sure that we are getting that message out there. And my hope is that I can create an environment from my perspective when I do these things to make sure that people realize that it's about the children, it's about our kids, it's about our planet.
Right.
It's not about anything else. Like, honest to God, if I woke up tomorrow morning and they said, "Hey, we're fixing climate change, we're providing, Medicare for
Yeah.
all, we're done with war," you know what I would do? I would go inside, I'd shut the door, I'd go to bed, I'd take a nap. I would. I'm serious. I'd take a nap. I'd be so happy. I'd be clapping.
I,
It'd be good to
I,
go. But
I
it
drink
isn't
a
there
beer.
yet.
I drink a beer, man, and I would cut on. I don't know, Walking Dead or something. I think that's coming back, man. Hey, look, it's gotten
Hey,
to the
man.
point. It's got to the point, Steven. I don't even want to like a show because I don't have time to watch it. And if I watch a
Yes.
show, I feel like I'm cheating. Like I feel like there's better things I could be doing with my time. And if
I
you don't
haven't
feel
watched.
that, look, Steven, if they don't feel that in their guts, they should not be running. They should not be trying to be in front or doing it and stuff. I mean, you should have a serious calling to try
Yes.
to lead people. Like unless you feel that way, like you're watching something, you're like, I I can't watch this shit. I got stuff to do. I got a video to make, or I got a column to write, or a blog post to do, or I got to reach out to these people, or I got to plan an event, or I got to. Unless you got that going on, and only you know it, then you need to stand back and say, you know what? Let me just join up with some other people where someone feels that way.
That's right.
Because that's the way, man. This is not a selfish thing. Like
It can't
it's
be.
about the
It
kids.
cannot.
It's about our kids. It's about kids you don't know that you'll never meet. This is too big. I can't believe people are so selfish, Steve. It's ridiculous.
People are weary. People are tired, and people are frustrated, and they're not seeing the kinds of results that they would like to actually see. And so what they
Yeah.
naturally do is they fall prey to the feels. They fall prey to the feels that tell them that they've got to do something stupid, or wander off, or check out, or I'm a cynic, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, they're tired. And so I envision my role at this point to keep people engaged. I'll try and keep it interesting. I try and keep it hopping. I try to bring content that makes them excited and happy, and I try to organize with other people to try and make things happen as well. Um, I was on the phone earlier with Evan Duke, who's doing the Occupy inauguration. I don't have all the details in front of me, but I just want to say that Real Progressives will be supporting that as well. So there's other things going on, and you're like, man, I would love to be a part of that. I would love to be a part of that. And at some point in time, you have to say, do I want to be a part of a million things, or do I want to do 3 or 4 things really freaking good?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to do the best you can with the tools you have. And if you stretch beyond what you're capable of, you're not doing any favors. I mean, and I think that's kind of knowing your limits. If you're not able to do these things, stick with what you can do,
True.
and give the things you're doing 100%, because the people that are trying to set these things up are dependent on people actually volunteering, donating, contributing, uh, time, effort, well wishes even. I mean, tell me honestly, Tim, when you do a show, doesn't it feel good when you see a like come on your show? When you see somebody hit that like button, it makes you feel. I'm serious. It's not like
Yeah.
that's why you do it, but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
tells
yeah,
you you're
yeah.
hitting something.
You know
It
what?
tells you you're.
You know what, man? I get trolled sometimes, so it's a little bit different for me, and I've been doing it for a long time. But I tell you what's great is when I do a Facebook Live. Now, Facebook Live likes are different than likes on videos. That's a different world, and you're right. That feels good to see the hearts floating. Like, who doesn't like that? I mean,
Right.
you're connecting with people, and I like the feedback that you get on when I do the YouTube stuff, Steven. I'm talking to a camera. I gotta imagine there are people out there, but yeah, man, of course, man. What I get, Steven, which is better, is I get letters. And I know you get some too. When you get
Yes.
those letters, somebody who takes time to write you and say, "This is what I'm feeling. Thank you so much for this." That is what does it for me, brother. That's what does it. Look,
Yeah.
Steve, man, I'm a tough guy, man, but sometimes make a brother shed a tear too, man. You got somebody writing you from across the world, basically, and telling you that you touched their life, man. That's amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we sit there at Real Progressives, and we share the good comments and the things where people are writing us inboxes to say, "You guys touched my life. Thank you so much for opening my eyes." One gentleman, I'll say his name, James Casserly. He sent me a pair of sunglasses. He told me he saw my video and he saw a scratch in my lens, and he felt like I deserved to have. And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." I mean, and he wrote this really nice letter, "Keep inspiring." And I cried. I mean, he was texting me, "Did you get the package? Did you get the package?" And I was like, "James, I got the package, buddy. Thank you so much." And but again, it's really not about any of that. What it is about, I want to see people show up to that march. I
Yeah,
want to see people care enough
yeah,
to say,
yeah,
"I'm in this to win this. I want our world to change." And if they just show up, it tells the world, it tells all the powers that be, it tells the establishment that progressives have come and they're here to fight, and that they mean it, and that they care, and that you can't just steamroll us. And to me, that power of unity, that power of us lifting each other up and always bringing each other into the game, and like, "Come on, buddy, come on," bringing them along to the finish line. To me, that's what's necessary. As it gets boring, it's going to get boring soon, and we're going to be stuck with a lot of news clips from the MSM having to weed through all the nonsense. What are we going to do, Tim? What are we going to do to keep all those people checked into this? And I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'll be honest with you. I am nervous about apathy. That's what Americans do. They get back
yeah.
to football. They get back to baseball. They get back to basketball. They get back to the Kardashians. And
You got to keep,
I've
you know
seen
what? I'll
one.
tell you, Stephen, the answer is you got to keep reinventing yourself. You got to keep on staying relevant. And to do that, you got to, it's like the first article I tried to get published at Mother Jones back in the 2000s. I got rejected, but it was a good article. So they wrote me back and they usually would send me just a form letter rejection. And they said, "Tim, what you need is a hook. And you got to have a hook to make this story so that it needs to be published today." So what we need to do, and what I try to do, is grab onto a current event and somehow attach whatever message I have into that current event. Now it's relevant. Now it has a reason to be printed today, because you're always competing with other distractions. So if you have a way that we can shoehorn uh, a progressive message into something that's going on now, to just kind of springboard it to keep it relevant and in the news. And also, here's the other thing, Stephen, so it can be seen. Because if you don't do that, only people going to look for your content are the people who are looking for your content. And part of what
That's
I
right.
try to do is get, look, it's nice to preach to the choir, right? But I need to do some converting. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you got to be able
John the
to reach. You
Baptist.
feel me, Steven? You got to be able to reach the people that don't really want to be reached. Be like, damn, how did I end up on this channel? How did I end up finding about Real Progressives? I'm a conservative, but I like this guy, or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? And
I feel you.
those are the wins. Those are the wins right there, brother.
That's right. When I was on your show last time, we talked about economics. I'm telling you right now, I got more conservatives coming to me that heard your show and saying, "Tell me more about this. I think I might like you." And I was like, there you go. There you go. So my thoughts are, Tim, you keep doing what you're doing because it's working. And I swear on my life, I model it. I want to be able to always work with you because you're a value to this community. And more importantly, your integrity is second to none. I mean, I really, really, really feel good about the things you're doing. We watch what you do. And
Shit.
my team is particularly passionate about your show. I mean, they're laughing, they're joking, they're always talking about your stuff. So you're touching people, I know for a fact. And that to me tells me that there's people out there ready to fight this fight.
Yeah.
But we got to get them ready for November 9th. November 9th is the most important day of our lives right now. Not November 8th. Not even Jill Stein getting her 5%. As much as I want that, and we're going to fight for that, I'm worried about what happens the next day. Are you going to fight for against the TPP? Are you going to go occupy places? Are you going to leave your comfort zone and go out there and let them know you're serious? It's going to take a lot of effort, and we're going to have to keep people's heads in the game. But I think we can do it if we really, really step up and unite and really start. I mean, if we start blending resources and we start working together as a united front, it's amazing the things that we can accomplish. And I think that's really what I am hoping to do, is unite the united front of Judea and the Judean People's Front and all the other frigging sects of the progressive movement, and say, guys, we're on the same team, man. Let's make this thing happen. And right now, honest to goodness, I think that the divisions will only grow if we as leaders and people sorry about that, buddy. Daggone tripod got me again.
It's all good.
There we go. Sorry about that.
No,
anyway,
no worries,
if
man.
we don't sit there and get ourselves united in such a way that we're able to bring my friend, the tripod has given up the ghost. I'm just going with the hand now. So, but again, my point is that we have got to unite. We cannot do this alone. We can't do this as soloists. We've got to find ways of partnering. And I think that everybody's got a following. And if we bring that together, that's millions of people. I mean, I really believe that. And I think that we can change the world. I really do.
Let's do this now. Now, I didn't like the way Aaron Marconi ambushed me on my own show. And Aaron, that's why you're not coming back on my show, brother. But I'll say this: this is my suggestion. I would like to talk with you further about making a regular thing, and it doesn't have to be every week, but we should have a regular thing where you promote something for progressives, something that you like. When you just, I want it more organized than, hey, Jackie, come on. Or, hey, Steve, come on. I want it more organized. Where sort of like when I do with HA, we have a show. What we do every Monday, we got a slot. I'd like to give you guys a slot, and that way we can have a vehicle, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that you know is going to be there always, and then you'll really understand the science behind what I do when I'm doing a video, like I'm making fun of Trump or I'm making fun of Hillary. Like, I did a spoof of great actor Robert De Niro did a video about Hillary, about Trump, right? He's like talking crap about Trump. Well, I did one about Hillary. I don't know why it hasn't blown up yet, but I've got a video on YouTube that's got on Facebook that has 3.5 million views. That's why I do stuff like that, because I'm trying to broaden the reach. And if I broaden the reach, when you come to the show, you reach more people. And that's the whole idea. So that's the point. Like, if these are like commercials, this is the real content. The little clips I do, dude, Steven, those are just commercials that I don't have to pay for.
You're dropping breadcrumbs.
You feel
I'm
what
with
I'm
you,
brother? But I'm serious, man. I'm committed to this, and what I like to do is have a regularly scheduled show with the progressives, and you will always have that platform. And I'll just leave it there, because I could keep talking, but you get it, and I think we should work it out, man.
I like that, Tim. Absolutely, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. So, let me ask you a question. What are you thinking about talking about at the march?
You know what, dude? It's crazy. Last night, as I was drifting off to sleep around 3:30, man, I had a vision of the way I wanted to start it, and that's how I am. It's like when I'm not working, I'm working, and I'm thinking, like, I know the way I want to begin it, but for real, all I want to do is inspire people. I want to inspire people to be involved, to be engaged, like you say. And I haven't put pen to paper yet, but that's my whole thing. And the entrance is going to be phenomenal, because that's what I'm envisioning, is the way you start off the presentation.
Yes. I'm excited. I was talking, they asked me to do economics. Well, I love doing economics.
Okay.
So the question comes down to, do I do a dry economics and try and talk dirty, or do I sit there and go into like one of my funny ones? And quite frankly, I'm at this point now where I just want to wake people up to ask questions. You can hate what I say, you can do whatever I say, but at least ask questions. If you ask questions, I've done my job. That's all I care about. When I come out of there, I want people's attention. And if they get that and they come and look at the breadcrumbs like you were saying, then I've done my job. That's all I care about right now, is waking people up little bits by little bits, because we've got. So one of the things that Bernie Sanders did that we all fell in love with, and I don't think everybody's completely aware of, there's a political term called the Overton window. And what the Overton window is, it represents the overall policy space that can be enacted at any given time. And what Bernie Sanders did was, and they never do this in a political campaign, but what Bernie Sanders did was personally move the entire conversation to the left. It was the first time that I've seen that actually happen in my lifetime, and I'm 47 years old. So when you think about that, what I'm hoping to do is, rather than wait for an election cycle to try and introduce these concepts, to try and introduce the education required to make those leaps, to make those changes, to get that critical mass, I want to start today. And I don't want to stop, and I want to keep that ball rolling so that we can create that momentum going into the next election cycle, so that we're not busy talking about the same stuff, that we're actually making progress. And so that's my goal. That's what I'm hoping I'll get out of this thing. And our team is committed to that as well. So I'm hoping that we're able to.
Great team, man. I didn't realize it was so many folks, man. 25, man. I'm going crazy with with 5 people. Like what we're trying to get done is like, we feel like we're wow, 25 people. That's impressive, man. That's a lot of volunteering, man. Give it up for everybody on Real Progressives. You guys, that's amazing.
Thank you.
No
Thank
doubt,
you. We've kind of taken this approach where we have 4 pillars, and the 4 pillars start with activism as 1, education number 2, number 3 is media, and number 4 right now is politics/governance/leadership. We haven't quite figured out the name we're going to use for the 4th pillar yet. But the goal here is to be able to take that 4-pillared approach to every subject and have SMEs that cross all of them. So like I would take economics, somebody else might take racial justice, somebody else might take anti-war. And as we do that, we build out a business model to not business in the sense of making money per se, but to actually approach education, creating educational content for economics, and then to create an activist, some sort of direct action to support that. And then be able to impact policy and governance today, not just future, but today. And to be able to create media to support that, be it written or be it a video or whatever. So that's going to be our approach. We're going to be looking for grant writers so we can start getting some of that education dollars to create stuff. We've even talked about doing a cosmos for economics, like Neil Tyson deGrasse did with the universe. We do that with economics to create like a Schoolhouse Rock cartoon for kids to learn economics. So we want to change the world, and we're not just about a campaign. This is a full steam ahead, building an organization, not a pack, but building something that actually can make change across the world, I mean, really, we want to do it across the world, but we're going to start locally. We're going to see what we can do. If we can make something out of it, then we're going to do it. If we can't, we tried, right? Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah. I love the organization, the organizational approach to it. Yeah. And yeah, wow. This is why I'm a show host, because I can't, like, it takes people to do all this stuff. It takes a team. Look, and I have learned, Stephen, nothing big gets done alone. I used to think I'm just going to do this alone, and I'm going to do it. Yeah, and I know how to do graphics a little bit. I can do my own editing, and I know how to go on Facebook and promote my stuff, and then I'll shoot the video. Dude, nothing big gets done alone. So all you little groups, come form Voltron.
That's right.
Voltron.
Bingo,
you can accomplish
man.
so much more with people, and we leave the egos aside, It's not about that if we really want to make a difference. We want our kids to have an earth.
You know what if I'm going to throw a bone to you here. What if you had an all-stars of the progressive movement, and I hate to use the word stars, but the people that have been out there and about, and have like a panel. I think Google Hangouts can have up to like 8 people. I think it's 8 people, What if you had 8 people on a show and you had like a talking heads? What if you were able to do something like that? I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
just throwing it out
when
there.
I did the Tim Canovathon, I had, gosh, man. Now they weren't all here at the same time. Everybody had a slot. And only one person screwed up my damn slot, Benjamin Dixon. But I'm not gonna say his name. Oh, I just said his name. But nah, shout out to Benjamin Dixon. But you know, I've done that. You know what I'm saying? Like that show. But you're right. It'd be better with Google Hangout because then you see the person, which is great. Seeing people, the connection's better. Like right now, you guys connecting to Steve, right?
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you a question. Do you think that Jill Stein is going to get to her 5%? Do you really think so?
Dude, Steven, I think she can do it. I think it's gonna be tough because they set the rules. And is it advantageous, especially when you look at these WikiLeaks and you see the power that the Clinton campaign has? Truth be told, the person that's really hitting Hillary's points, keeping her points down, is Gary Johnson. At least everything I've read looks like Gary Johnson's the one who's pulling more votes from Hillary. But then again, I don't even know if that's true because we know now how much the mainstream media lies.
Absolutely.
So that's part of the problem. Like, you don't know which way is up. You don't know what's real, what's not real. It's like almost to the point where, do they want her to get 5 points? That's the question.
Yeah, I really think that my job over the next 3 weeks is going to be a steady drumbeat to make sure that people, number one, remember there is a third party, that there is a choice, there is one more progressive running, and that is Jill Stein. And the other thing is to make sure that we don't get so hung up on this election that we forget that politics doesn't end November 8th. That our activism doesn't end November 8th. And I've said this and I'll continue to say it, and I say it on our shows and I say it everywhere I go, because I think truly, as you watch the numbers, to our point, plunge, people are really genuinely checking out. And you watch, I'll be honest with you, things like Our Revolution have disappointed me. You have so much potential, and then instead of actually fighting against the establishment, they end up currying favor within the establishment. And I just can't abide that. I mean, there's too much information out there. They know what's going on. The WikiLeaks are just proof positive. And then you watch these other, I slammed a couple people. I took a shot at Democracy Spring because of their selling out for Hillary.
Right.
I took a shot at Bernie Sanders activists because Mike Klingler has gone ahead and said, well, I can't support Jill Stein now because some of her supporters are Jill bros. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? You're really going to break out the Jill bro thing? So I've taken shots at these folks, not because I don't like them. I don't know them. But because I know what it is we're fighting for. And I know what it is we went through during the Bernie Sanders campaign. And to watch them use the same exact tactics that the establishment used against them, to watch them turn around and now use the same things. Oh, Jill can't win. Oh, this can't happen. Oh, what are you crazy? What do you want, Trump? And all the same things, the exact same things that the establishment said. And all the Hillbots said back in the day. To watch former burners doing the same exact thing is utterly revolting to me.
If we get, if we got 4 years of Trump, we would only be 4 years of Trump. If we get Hillary, we get 8 years of Hillary. Hillary would get 2 terms. I got that feeling she would get 2 terms, and that would really set the movement back. At least with Trump, I know he's going to be in and out. He's going to get nothing done. Hillary's got, look at her. She's got like 20 Republicans just lined up to endorse this woman yesterday. I don't know, some crazy amount. I mean, she's got the Bushes. She's got, to me, she's
Paul
much more of a threat.
Wolfowitz, Bob Kagan, unbelievable Brent Scowcroft. I mean, we're talking about the worst of all the neocons, the ones that are really ready to freaking blow the world up and turn it to glass. She's got those people in her back pocket. And you're not even talking Kissinger. We're talking about the freaking ones that we hated during the Bush era, that all of them still make memes about, all the GOP, and all of them are in her back pocket. And it is frightening that they allow that D in front of her name to cloud their judgment, when the fact of the matter is that she is one with her people. She's singing her people's song, and the GOP is loving her. They are loving her. They are loving her. They are loving her. And
She's
if
gonna help them make that military money, man. That's
hell
it's
yeah,
all about.
absolutely.
I can't believe that people. I can't believe they're progressives. And you know what? Maybe we give people too much credit, like that they know this stuff. Like maybe they just don't know, man. Maybe they don't know that we're looking at World War III. You know?
I think that they do know. Sadly, I think some people are so scared, and they've been on the. I'm going to use a term that I heard Ajamu Baraka use. They're still on the plantation. They're
Mhm.
still thinking
Yeah.
that whole slave mindset of being stuck in this environment, this rut. And they believe it's that Stockholm syndrome. They believe that their oppressor is actually their friend, that they believe their oppressor is actually the lesser evil. And the reality is, it's not about the fact that the GOP is going to suddenly do what we want them to do. My God, no way.
No,
The
that's not what
issue
we're
is that we
saying.
are united in the opposition to them, and they'll get nothing done. Zero. Let's be fair. The Tea Party gave us a pretty good blueprint of how to stop a government from moving, and we can stop them from doing anything. And then in 2020, have a real shot at a progressive.
There
If
you
we get Jill
go.
5%, they got matching funds, all the other things that we need to get them up on the stage. We get them up there. We fight, we fight, we fight, and we start from day one instead of waiting until the last minute to shift to the next progressive. I'll be honest with you. I fought for Bernie past the election. Past the DNC. Up till that day, that they went ahead and he went on the stage, and it was like heartbreaking. I went on the air that night teary-eyed, and I said, you know what, it's time. And I moved to Jill. That was when I said, it's time. I gave myself a minute. I accepted the pain, and I moved to Jill. And I haven't blinked once since. That whole Bring Bernie Back movement, you know what?
Yeah.
It's a nice pipe dream. It ain't happening. And it's killing our movement. This idea of the cult of personality is somehow or another the movement is ridiculous. Where are you going to go when Bernie drops out? Where are you going when Bernie is done? The fact of the matter is, Bernie said, not me, us. If I tell you who to vote for, don't vote. Bottom line, he's told us point blank, I'm not the movement. You're the movement. We're the movement. And people are still stuck in this cult of personality, and it is killing us. Killing us. Wake up, people.
Gotta
Wake up.
wake up. Gotta wake up. Gotta wake up.
Absolutely.
Steve, man, it's been great. It's been fiery. It's been real. Tell people how to contact you, where to go to get more information, because I know they're really pumped up now and they're serious about doing some stuff. They want to volunteer. They want to lend their voice. They want to send a couple dollars. They want to do something. So tell them how to do that.
Absolutely. So we have a website. It's www.realprogressivesusa.com. You can find our page, Real Progressives. We also have a closed Facebook group, and we also have a YouTube channel. So you can look us up anywhere. We're also on Twitter. And as we go forward, you're going to start seeing some more well-produced videos. You're going to start seeing more activism. We'll be at the march, the Take Back Democracy March in Washington, D.C. on October 23rd. Please come and support us. We'll be putting links up constantly for where you can actually donate to help offset the costs of that march. There's porta potties, there's EMS, there's, all the equipment, nobody's making any money off this. This is purely trying to get the message out there. And, other than that, we're going to have, we Real Progressives have not tried to solicit funds yet. We have been in this pure of heart. Coming soon, as we build this business, we are going to start asking for some funds. They'll be very targeted, very specific. We put a Patreon account up. We haven't published it yet because we haven't put our itemized needs up yet. We really are trying desperately to help make sure that the things we ask for are for the movement. And of course, we support Ed and Chelsea. Ed has Activate. So if you look for Ed Higgins and Chelsea Kent Lyons, they're out there at the Dakota Pipeline right now, trying to do some good work in the field. So in any event, that's how you find us.
How is Ed, man? How is Ed doing?
Ed's kind of new to the team. We're kind of feeling each other out right now.
Okay.
But quite frankly, I'm watching them out there working around the clock. So, I'm proud to say Ed's with us. He's going to be doing some things, as I'm sure he's got his own stuff going on. And as long as our purposes align, we're going to be partnered up.
That's what's up, man. I haven't met Chelsea yet, but I met Ed in Philly, and then he came on my show one time. But yeah, look forward to meeting Chelsea as well, man. And it sounds great, man. Look, guys, you heard it, www.realprogressivesusa.com. And look, guys, and since I'm local, I don't need any help going, right? Won't you guys go ahead and help these guys out? Like,
thank you.
I'm going to their event, so, and I could just drive to DC. I'm 20 minutes out, so yeah, I won't need to stay anywhere. So the money you were going to send me, go ahead and send it to Real Progressives.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much.
No problem, bud. We're going to link it up, man. And that's putting your money where your mouth is. How about that?
Amen, brother. Amen.
No doubt, Stephen. Hey, look, Stephen, man, thank you so much, man, for taking time out, man, and get some sleep. We love you, brother. And like we said, man, we need to talk offline about strategizing and how we can work together, man. I'm all for it.
Yes. Okay? That's now you're talking my language, man. All right, man. Thank you so much, Tim. Thank you for the time, buddy.
You got it, brother. Thank you. Give it up for Steve Grumbine. Stephen Grumbine. My man. Look, guys, it was a great show tonight. I think we said a lot of things that need to be said. Some of it was harsh. But I told you we weren't going to be mincing words. This is the No Sellout Show. On the No Sellout Show and all my shows, but especially No Sellouts, there's absolutely no selling out. We got to keep it real. So do me a favor, go to www.realprogressivesusa.com. Find these guys. They're on Facebook, Progressives, plural. You'll see Jackie Lukman over there. You'll see Ed over there. You'll see Stephen Grumbine, Chelsea, Claudia. I didn't even know Claudia was over there. I can't wait till October 23rd. Well, I'll have an opportunity to be face-to-face with a lot of people I haven't met yet and some people I haven't met. So if you're in the D.C., Maryland, VA area, or even as far as Pennsylvania, if you can come up, that'd be real cool. I'd love to hang out with you, get to know you, take a selfie, talk, whatever, because I'm seriously committed to doing the right thing, to telling truth. And this is what it's about. All right. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Tomorrow is Freedom Friday. So I know people are a little like, Tim, what's going on with the show, man? Tell me I turn around, you over here, you over there. Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, I'll be right there. Same bat channel. I am TimBlack.com, right on the YouTube channel. You get to call in tomorrow, 9 p.m. to whenever, right? 5 minutes. Talk about whatever you want. Do you have a movement? Do you have a group that you belong to? Tomorrow's the day to do it. Okay, call up tomorrow and plug it, and look, plug it or talk about whatever's going on, like whatever issue that hasn't been addressed that you want to just get off your chest. That's what Freedom Friday is about. That will never change. I love Freedom Friday because it's my way of giving back to the people. I have a phone line that I pay for every month, right? I only use it on Fridays now, but I can't let it go because that's for you guys. All right. I'll talk more about all this stuff tomorrow. I appreciate you. You know what time it is. I got a favorite comedian. His name is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle had this little skit he used to do. He used to say, let's sprinkle some crack on him and get out of here.
Let's sprinkle some crack on him and get out of here.
Well, I changed it up and I said, let's sprinkle some facts on him and get out of there. But before you do, know this. There are some people who call themselves progressive. And I'm not here to out you. I'm here to make you really look in the mirror at yourselves, man, and say, really, what am I about? Right? Really, what are my core values? What matters to me? And why am I doing what I'm doing? And if you're doing it because you think, well, this is the ticket, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Basically, what you're doing is you're walking up and you're going,
you gonna eat your cornbread.
And you know what? Real people recognize it. It may take a while, but you're going to be found out. Because when you try to take our cornbread, we're all looking at each other and we're going,
nobody take no cornbread from me.
That's right. Because none of us are giving up our cornbread. Don't you see the shirt? But then you play on our sympathies. You tell me, or you put out this air of being sincere. You come back around with the,
maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
And if we buy into you and we listen to you and we allow you to do your song and dance, and then we find out that all it was a song and dance, and that all of this stuff you were doing was just window dressing for some other type of agenda, well, I can tell you this: 6 times a week and twice on Sunday,
There's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
I'm Tim Black. You can count on it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Much love to all the people that keep it real, who understand how important it is that we unite one humanity, one human race against, look, we're the other 98%. Let's act like it. Peace. A little music, please.
Tim Black.
That is
Tim
playing.
Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True.
That's too old school. That's old school.
Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Don't forget to email me at timblacktv.com if you need to really get in contact with me. That's Tim at timblacktv.com. Shout out to my people, all of you guys, everybody on Team Black, all the Tim Black's Wolf Pack. Give it up for yourselves. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we do a roll call, and we do it like we used to do it, like old times. Peace.